enlightening one also. The name of our session is Water and History. Is water historical? Should we talk about history? Yes, water was existing before us, before human beings, and even before any living creature. We say that it is life. That's why when we find a new satellite, we look for water, whether there is a life or not, to check. It is an unusual substance which exists under normal conditions in three states: gaseous, liquid, and solid. No other matter has that quality. We don't do anything to have water in solid state. It is there in nature by itself under normal conditions. We don't do anything to make it gaseous. It is there in the atmosphere in that state. And we have liquid water also without our interfering with it. So it is a very special substance. It is the softest matter. It flows through your fingers when you are washing. It is the hardest matter when it is a flood. Nothing can stay in front of it. Water is very unusual. We have to understand water. It is a very, very interesting matter. Then, what is the relationship between water and human beings? Early in history, early people, our ancestors, didn't know how to bring water, so they went to water. All the early civilizations are along rivers, clean water sources of their times. In Mesopotamia, in Egypt, in India, in China, we see those. Because they didn't know how to bring it, they went to it. Water is that important for us. When I start my hydrology course, generally I start by asking my students for their cultures and for their languages. Do you have any sayings in your culture, in your language about water? Being students, trying to put me on stage, they start with the naughty ones, saying that su içene yılan bile dokunmaz. Even snake doesn't touch the one who is drinking water. Su uyur, düşman uyumaz. Water sleeps, but not the enemy. And then I start bringing them to our subject. And then we talk about, yes, water is life. Su hayattır. And we also talk about, suyla oyun olmaz. You cannot play with water. You need to know the laws of water. Otherwise, it punishes you very badly. A friend of ours explained, if you are dealing with water in the wrong way, it will punish you. I told you, even the softest drops of water, if it continuously comes to the same point, even in the marble we see holes. It is that strong. We have seen in the first session that water is accepted in almost all the cultures and in all the religions as holy matter. It cleans not only physically, but also spiritually. It is said that it purifies human beings. It heals also. An example for that healing is also in cultural musics of different cultures. For example, in Turkish music, the sound of water is used as a healing object. And there are also, as you know, hot springs with different minerals in them are doing healing for people. So let's come back to our subject. Let us study how our ancestors dealt with water. What can we learn from them? Now we are going to have a number of speakers talking about different aspects of water, and I am going to introduce them one by one. We try to put the speeches in order, historical order. While chairing, I have Mr. Robert Varedi with us. He is our co-chair. And unfortunately, we couldn't meet before. We just met here, said hello to each other. Although he was present in the meeting from the first day on, we were running, I think, in different meetings, therefore we couldn't meet. He is, should I ask you to introduce yourself? Maybe it's not better. Why don't you do that yourself?
Yes, thank you very much. My name is Robert Varedi, and I'm the Deputy Director of the Udall Center for Studies in Public Policy at the University of Arizona in the U.S. I'm also a Professor of Environmental Policy and of Hydrology and Water Resources. But one of the other hats that I wear, and I wear so many hats that it's had an effect on the top of my head, but one of the hats that I wear is that I'm the President of the International Water History Association, which is co-organizing this session, and that's the capacity in which I'm here. Just to say a few words about the organization, we have 700 members, all of whom have an interest in the history of water, that is, in the history of human use of water. Our members are in about 50 different countries, and we have meetings every 2 years. This year, we've merged our conference with a new organization, which is the International Consortium of Environmental History Organizations, which will be having a big congress in Copenhagen in August with members of about 10 different environmental history organizations. So environmental history, water history are important new fields. They've come about in the last 30 years or so, and I'm here on behalf of that organization. Thank you very much.